Welcome back. Somebody new that's gracing the studios here at Hometown Television for the very first time. Ken Miller is owner, operator, manager, chief bottle washer for KRZP.
Director of Operations.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we had a little talk earlier before the show, and you're new to the area. You want to let people know about that?
I am. Moved here with my wife of 28 years, the better half, as we were talking earlier. So the better half. We've been in the Searcy, White County area.
Need to get your wife.
Yeah, we need to get, come on over, Cindy. No. We came up here from White County, Searcy, Arkansas, to where I was in that market for nearly a little over 20 years, and came from the light rock and then contemporary country end of things, mostly in a marketing capacity. We've always vacationed up here. And my wife, one day, daughter's grown up and gone. We got 3 beautiful grandkids, and we had this, massive house. And I said, we're kind of like living in just a small section of it, and the mortgage is a little fat, P-H-A-T, fat. and I looked at her. I said, "What do you want to do? You want to change things up? My tenure there and with where I came from was getting worn down a little bit, getting a little stale." And she said, "I want to go to Baxter County." And then I looked at her and I said, "Well, I'll put the house up." And thank goodness we were able to turn the house quickly. Halloween weekend, we moved up here. Met with Monty Spearman, who is High Plains HPRN, High Plains Radio Network. He's out of Texas. And I kind of just sat with...
he was a previous owner of this radio?
No, he was not the previous owner. The previous owner... had it for a long time. Scott Gray Media, sold to Monty Spearman, and I go back with Scott. I knew Scott Gray for years from Searcy because he actually started a station in Searcy about 6 years ago. So I had some ties with Scott, not personally, but we knew who each other was.
So this market came up for sale.
This market came up for sale. The Gray Media sold out to HPRN, and I came up here and really didn't know just how much direction I had or where I was going to end up. It was kind of the blind leading the blind. I got Mama where she wanted to be, and I kind of fell backwards into this opportunity. And in fact, one of the gals with one of my competitors here in town told me of the new ownership takeover as I was seeking employment with them. And they didn't have room for me. Totally understood the situation, but she was nice enough to say, "You know what, Ken? I believe the station down the street's turning over to new ownership, and boy, I'll bet they could use someone like you." And I met with Monty Spearman, and my goodness, blessed and grateful.
Here you are now.
Blessed and grateful.
So people that have previously listened to 92.7, what was the format before?
It was Mountain Country 94.3 on 92.7. It was one station on 2 frequencies. And when I came in, I observed the situation and said, well, on a marketing aspect, my roots, I'm looking at dollars and cents, and I'm going, well, you're kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face because you're limiting, you're putting 2 frequencies on one station. Well, why wouldn't you want another station on that frequency? And I sat with Monty, we talked about it, we kicked it around, I gave him some projections, and fortunately was able to put myself in the position that I built this station from the ground up, literally from the ground up. The programming, I have an engineer down in Bryant named Mike Wiseman. My goodness, what a savior. Mike was just been, every time, I got Chicago roots, so, every now and then I get a little hot-headed. And Mike was able to calm me down. And over the 3 months that it took to put this station on the air, a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, believe me.
So did you know right away that you wanted to change the format? I mean, you had changed the format to.
I had worked with a station similar to this one in the late '90s, early millennium that was successful to market. As far as dollars,
depends on the market too, doesn't it?
It does. And Searcy being a little bigger market than here in Mountain Home. Keep in mind though, 20 years ago when I was very successful in marketing that type of format, Searcy was about the same size as Mountain Home is today. So that's how I went into this thing. Now, here was the only problem I ran into. The music from 2000 to 2016, and the station is a hybrid. It's not quite hot adult contemporary where you hear the mainstream hits. You'll hear mainstream hits, but on a little lighter level. But light rock basically is no more. So that light rock sound is history. So from 2000 to 2016, you've got a lot of music changed a lot when that light rock station was successful for me in the late 90s. I didn't take much risk because this type of sound that I have on this station doesn't exist in this market. So I wasn't stepping on anybody's toes. That was the last thing I wanted to do. Everybody deserves a piece of the pie with their station. I put the station on the air. We flicked the switch February 14th, Valentine's Day, and it's been seamless. And my goodness, I've done this in the past, and it wasn't so seamless. So I learned from my mistakes.
Sure.
As far as marketing goes, we've gotten out of the box real strong with the marketing end of it. The programming, I've learned so much building this station from my engineer, Mike Wiseman. I've learned so much IT stuff that...
which is an integral part of everything.
Oh my goodness, the whole station's on a hard drive, you know.
Sure.
I listened to 5,000 songs. There is no explicit language on my station. There is, we tried to stay away from the hip hop, urban sound. Every now and then I may have screwed up and you might hear kind of an urban sounding song. And it has nothing to do with racial divide. It has strictly to do with what I wanted to create, as a hip hop station would not play my type of music.
Let's talk about your footprint. Where can people listen if they're traveling around in their car?
Absolutely, they can stream online at www.K927FM.com. They can hear it worldwide. It's www.K927FM.com. Stoked about it because we just got the streaming up and going last week. Website is there, advertising. There's a section for that. They can click the icon, key in their name, address, phone number. Myself or one of my representatives, one of my account executives would call on them, and we can put something together. You get in on the ground level with me as the station is new. I'll scratch your itch, without a doubt.
Give me some towns that you're heard in. That's pretty. It's going to be strong enough where they can.
I go as far west as Harrison. Now you get into downtown Harrison, the station breaks up a little bit. That's just because of the buildings and the way it's set up. You get west of Harrison, you pick me up again. About 10 miles west of Harrison is about my end. As far east is Viola. As far north is, you can get almost to Branson and hear me. And then I'm about 15 miles south of Mountain View, on a north and south diagonal level. So,
well, you actually hit all of our.
Oh, absolutely,
areas,
absolutely, absolutely. And I've been working the Harrison area, meeting some people there. Got some really decent accounts already on the station in running. Of course, it's all about the marketing end of it. Once the programming is done, the maintenance of that's in check. We've got that taken care of. The sound is what
we'll put it in on our radio, and we'll take a listen. And I want to let people know how to contact you. If you'll give, we've had contact information up on the screen, but if you want to shoot your phone number out,
absolutely.
Maybe if you got a hit line. That
no, I'm going to give them my direct cell.
There you go.
Right now. Keep in mind, come this April 4th, Monday, yours truly in the morning, 6 till 9. So. It's going to be the Magnus Toyota. I'll get Paul to thank me on that one. The Magnus Toyota Morning Show with Ken Miller. And I'm not a comedian. God didn't put me on this earth to be funny. The station is going to be predicated. Keep in mind, my core listener is a 30 to 50-year-old female. I'm going to talk a lot about health and wellness. I'm going to talk a lot about raising children. I'm going to talk a lot about community. This station is predicated on community. That's the MO of it. And as we grow, I believe the people in Baxter, Boone, Marion County, Stone County, and if I'm missing a county, help me. I think they'll all see that I'm about community because Ken Miller is going to make sure we're seen and heard in a positive, enlightening way. Real quick.
Phone number, real quick.
Yes,
I've got 30 seconds.
870-202-9845, 870-202-9845. That rings my cell direct. If I can help you in any way being heard on my station, or if you'd like to throw some music in there, some requests for now until the morning show starts. I have the ability to put on the air what you'd like to hear.
Appreciate you coming back.
Oh man, thank you so much for the forum.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
I'm looking forward to it.
check it out, 92.7 on your FM dial. Check it out. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Angela Broom and also Hospice of the Ozarks, Stetson and Stilettos. We'll do that in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.